Hello everyone, it's Tom, back with Tactician Tom. Want to talk to you tonight about the Paul Pogba saga and what I think is well, one of the issues. I just want to talk about Paul Pogba in general. Obviously, an extremely talented footballer, Manchester United player now for 3 years. His stats this year have been okay. They've been heavily padded by his penalty taking, the old long run up. I just want to look at a decision Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made in March. So, what I've seen from Pogba this calendar, or excuse me, season, August to December, he was absolutely terrible. Um, January to March, he was unplayable at times. He was absolutely brilliant. He was an absolute just demon. And then comes back from international break in March, and he was bang average the rest of the year. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made a decision after the international break to play him in a deeper lying role, as he did so well for France there in that role. And I think that was a massive mistake by Ole. Now, I'm not defending Paul Pogba to in any way. I don't know him. He presents himself as being quite arrogant, uh, quite selfish, just not likable. However, but in a weird way, he's your mercurial character, isn't he? Really, you either love him or hate him, and he's a great player, or he could be a great player. He's shown at times world class ability, but I just want to talk about the role Ollie moved him to, which was basically at the edge of a diamond where he was covering the outside flank and having to work more up and down the field. Now, when he gallops forward, he is like Patrick Vieira, but he doesn't gallop back that way. He's terrible in that transition from attack to defence. When Man United lose the ball, I'm not just talking about his work rate. I'm talking about his first decision when we lose the ball is always head down. And if you watch Manchester United play, his head goes down every time Manchester United lose the ball. It's not what space can I fill, where can I press, who can I cover, depending on where are on the field, really. I mean, are we high pressing? Are we backing off? Where is he going? He's just not thinking that, which creates so many gaps in midfield. And the problem is when he plays for France, he's normally on a free. He's got Griezmann just in front of him, but he's got Maludi and Kante with him. They're beasts and they're defensive minded. I mean, I know Matuda, sorry. Um, I know he is really, he is kind of box to box, which Man United actually need right now. But for Manchester United, Matic's just not covering up a lot of ground. He doesn't play the ball quickly. He's okay in midfield for Man United. He's regressed quite a lot in the last couple of years. But in all honesty, Pogba's not suited to playing at all in that role where essentially he's part of a midfield line which is required some to be defensive, to have defensive duties. He needs that free role, which Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gave him when he first came to the club, and that went away after March. Now, I'm not defending his attitude, I'm not defending his work rate, but I'm defending the fact that we did not put him in the best situation to succeed at the end of last season. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who I love as a person, I think he can read the game. I think he can understand the game of football. I think he can see patterns. I think he can see what changes need to be made in the game. I think he's going to be a great coach. I really do for Manchester United. I hope so, anyway. I mean, he's going to be a great coach, whether that be for Manchester United or he needs to learn from this. And if it does not go well, and maybe go somewhere else. But I think he's got so much potential as a coach. But Pogba, obviously, his potential is massive, and you've got to harness that. So it's really, if he does stay, and I do think he will stay, I think Manchester United will keep him. I think he's just doing this to essentially get more money. It must piss you off, though, if you're Paul Pogba. You come in well record fee. And if you are like that, which he is, and you know what I mean by like that guy, Alexis Sanchez comes in and gets double what he's on nearly a week, plus add-ons and crazy money has done absolutely nothing, and everyone's slating Pogba, but Sanchez is always just in the background hiding out. So that must be pretty annoying to him. But I mean, he's a professional footballer who's very lucky, very talented, and he gets to play for the biggest club in the world. I mean, come on, there needs to be a better attitude. But from a tactical point of view, he's much better in them areas higher up the pitch where he can knock the ball round the corner, he can spray the ball. He's very good at turning on the ball and finding a pass. So He's not great. He's not a Juan Sebastian Veron, even though he'd probably like to be. He's not that Hollywood ball player. Yes, he can knock that ball 70 yards. You saw that against Tottenham. But he's really good running at, within transition of a counter-attack, running at a defense and picking a pass. He's fantastic at that. He's scary on the ball. I mean, he's so talented, but you put him as a part of a diamond, or you put him as part of a midfield three that has another player that's moving forward and he has defensive responsibilities. I just don't think it works for him. And with France, again, with them players around him, with Griezmann, with Matuidi, with, I don't think I'm saying that right still, he's a good player. With Kanté, with that strong back four, you got to remember as well, we don't have Varane in our back four and players like that. And we'll talk about Manchester United's team and where I think we're at, but I just want to cover the Paul Pogba fiasco really now because of what he said. But I do think he will stay with Manchester United. I think he will, and I think he'll do well if he has the right attitude. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is obviously going to have to get him in line, which is really difficult these days with all the money they get, the sponsors and the egos and social media. And I often wonder how we view players from the generation before this, or 2 generations ago now, I guess, if we had social media back then. But hey, like my channel, subscribe if you like to hear about the tactical side of the game. It doesn't mean I'm not going to give personal opinions on people. It doesn't mean I'm not going to give a bit of laughs, a bit of cries, whatever it may be. But this is more for if you're interested in soccer as the pure, or football or soccer, depending on whether you're in England or America or wherever in the world. It could be football. But this is more for those that are interested in talking about the game and not necessarily, I'm not going to be a gossip monger. And we'll see how long I do this because I've tried this before, but I've been wanting to do this again for a while and I feel like now's the time. So like, subscribe, and cheers.